Hello, everybody. weebrabbit here, and welcome back to the Otaku Overload podcast, episode 61. Hope everyone is listening, is doing well. I am here, ready to record. My co-host, Legend of Jonathan, is here as well, and we are going to get into it because even though I think we didn't have really big weeks, still wanted to meet up, record, all that good stuff. So, hello, Legend of Jonathan. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well. How you been? You know?
I've been fine.
Okay, okay. Hope the audience, same thing, is also doing pretty good, you know? I'm about to get into the weeks, my week. So yeah, just so Um, I watched something with Franxx. Unfortunately, I didn't watch two episodes. I watched only one, and I only watched episode 16. Um, and the way this episode starts is that basically for some reason after the whole fight, with like the nines and all those people and the giant Galaxosaurs, for some reason, um, for some reason it's really weird. Basically, they don't get any reports telling them to ever ride the Franxx. And for some reason, Papa and like Nana and all those people for some reason are gone and they don't contact them. And then the water is messed up for some reason because I guess like because of how half of PlayStation 13 got destroyed. I guess that means that the water is messed up, so they don't really have fresh water that's filtered. And then um they're kind of delivered food, and basically it's kind of like think of like military food. Um like those are called MR no, not MRAs. But basically, yeah, they're handed like food, basically, like little food in containers, and
Rations? You're
like
talking about
ration.
rations?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
and basically, like it's the same food all the time, but then the food doesn't even look good because like they'll get like you know how in cartoons they always give like the kids like the gray goop or whatever.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't know.
they're
I just
given
made me.
that.
I don't know why it made me laugh, but you're right. They always show it's gruel, like quite gruel.
Yeah, bro, they're
Uh,
handed that,
so it's kind of
and
weird. So no one's contacting them, and they don't have any like supplies or like water or anything, but yet they're still getting like food. So like someone is out there, right? But like,
yeah, like it's like that's the only thing that they know that for sure they leave them a note telling them that they're giving them food, and they'll have like that weird crappy gray stuff. And then what's funny is that's the only thing that looks terrible on the freaking plate, because then they'll have little graham crackers, and then they'll have like honey packets, and I forgot what else. And like that's the only thing that looks disgusting. And and then like what's his name? Um, damn, how did I even forget his name? Because I mentioned it before. But the loud one, he says himself, he's like, I hate this.
Zerome?
He- oh yeah, him. Well, I'll just say Jerome, because
Yeah, because Zerome's the loud one. Mitsuru is the kind of edgy one, right? That he had made the promise with a hero.
Mhm,
Goro, whatever his name, I think it's Goro, right? Goro is the guy with the glasses. He's like Hero's homie. He's with Ichigo, and
mhm.
then Futoshi's the big guy, the fat guy.
Yeah, him. Um, um, yeah, basically he's like, man, I hate the same stuff as always. And then the what's her name? The one with the pigtails, the tsundere. She's like, she even says herself, she's like, dude, we've been eating this for like and it's confirmed by this point, and they mention like five times that it's been a month since the thing, and
Dang,
they haven't been contacted.
dang, a little bit of a time skip. All right.
Yeah, and so basically like she tells him like dude like I understand but like we have no other choice, we don't even know how to make our own food. And 02, it's been confirmed that in this past month that yeah she's been more nice to like the squad 13, and she's basically been kind of like their mother figure where she gives the chores and she stays like to a schedule, and like she always helps the girls out, and she helps the guys with their stuff too when they need help and like all that stuff. So she has become friends with them by this point. And, a lot of the girls, including Ichigo, they all mentioned they're like, yeah, like you really did turn a new leaf and you're like really nice to us and like blah blah. And she mentions it herself. She's like, yeah, that that she kind of noticed too that yeah, she needed a change, and so she changed herself literally like quick, and that she really does like their company and she like, being with them and everything. And so everyone's happy, and stuff. But then they're also like, because they're still stressed because of the whole situation. And so what happens is that basically, Zero Two gives them the suggestion of why don't they make food together? And so they do end up making food. They end up catching fish and stuff, and they make a meal. And that's all cool and all. But while this is all happening too, like what leads up to that, basically, Mitsuru he asks Kokoro to give him a haircut, and I kid you not, the haircut she gives him actually made him look good. Like even to me, I'm like, damn, you look good. Like I was like, damn, this dude looks like non-edgy, basically.
Nice.
And so, that was cool and all. And then Mitsuru, he gives, he kind of vents to her, and she tells him that, basically she feels as though like, basically because he feels like why did he expect him to apologize, or why was he satisfied with him apologizing or something like that, among those lines. She tells him that maybe like, that was him begging very hard in his heart that he would get forgiveness or even forgive Hiro. And so when, Hiro remembered and he apologized, I guess that made him forgive himself. And basically what happens is, he's happy that she gave him a haircut, but then Kokoro kisses him unexpectedly. And then like, he's shocked too. And so he's kind of like, hey, like, what was that? And not like in a way where he's like mad, but kind of just like, hey, like what happened? And that's when she freaks out and she like runs off. And he's kind of just like left there kind of like, am I in love with this girl now? Or like what happened?
Yeah.
And then that's when, they all decide like, hey, let's make the dinner together, and they do, and they make like roasted like fish and like a salad and soup.
They should have made steamed hams.
Where would they have gotten the hamburgers for? I'm just kidding.
I don't know.
And then like they do end up making a dinner, but while this is happening, it's basically confirmed that Futoshi, he's basically, I don't know what's happening to him and the tsundere girl, but they're kind of sick, I guess. And not just her. I think it's implied too that the serious girl, the one with the glasses, she also is having some sort of illness going on or something. And
Yeah.
so basically, Fatoshi's like, no, I'm gonna die, blah blah. And what's his name? Jerome, he's really worried about him. And so he basically does is Futoshi drops his plate on purpose of like the fish, and he says something like, "Oh, it's okay. It's just my hands are like I have like I'm clumsy basically." That's what he tries to say. And that's when he basically pushes him on the ground, and he tells him, "Don't lie to me. I know that you're purposely eating the food, and then you throw it back up."
Dang.
And he's like, no, he says, I'm like, no, like, not like you're lying, but he says, no, you're wrong. He's like, oh, don't lie to me. I've seen it. And he starts crying. And it's not just because he's crying because, like, he's worried about him. He's crying too because he even says something among the lines of, Papa hasn't even contacted us in like a month, and neither has Nana and, like the other guy. And he's like, literally, like, I don't even think they care about us anymore. And that's when everyone else starts crying too because they kind of like, start explaining that even they have doubts, and that they've kind of just kept their mouth shut and try to like lie to themselves that things were fine. And they all have a bonding experience, and they kind of tell Futoshi to start eating again because even if he's fat, he needs like his energy. And then everyone starts getting back, they all have a little bonding moment. And then after that, it shows that Hero and Zero Two, they spend time together, and they're kind of just like, talking about like the picture book that they both grew up with. And that Zero Two, she kind of sketches stuff, and she recreated the picture book like drew drawings, and he's surprised that she even remembered the entirety of the book. And they kind of just talk about that, and then like they cut all up at the end, and then it's weird because you can hear like the distance, you hear some weird like scream,
Yeah.
like a Klaxosaur scream, and like basically Zero Two, she looks out the window as they're cuddling, and you could see like a bird flies out of the dome, like it's broken now, and in the distance you see that there's like this weird person or thing, and it's like sitting there, and it's like smiling,
Oh wow. That's
and that's
creepy.
it's like Zero Two noticed that there's some thing or someone like lurking outside the plantation, basically.
I bet Slender Man
Yeah, it is.
or Jeff the Killer.
Yeah. Like, or, no, it's Tails doll.
It's Tails doll. I don't know
Yeah.
because we were talking about that in an episode of Zelda not that long ago.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Um,
That's where it ends, right?
yeah.
Okay, I feel like I kind of remember this episode. If I remember, this is where it starts to go off the rails. This is where
Yeah.
the series starts to go off the rails. I'm telling you, I feel like it peaks when it's like, yeah, Zero Two and Hero finally get together, and everyone is kind of, they defeat the Klaxosaurs and everything's looking good, and that's kind of where I feel like it kind of peaks. And from here, it kind of starts to go off the rails with a lot of like, oh yeah, Kokoro Mitsuru, little romance there. And trust me, as you see where this goes, like, oh, okay, that's a weird direction for
Oh,
them
I
to
think I
take
know what you're
that.
talking about because I think I've heard of this. Yeah, I'm not gonna say
Yeah,
anything, but
yeah,
I know what you're
yeah.
talking about.
And then it just goes off the rails here. Like this still isn't like bad. I would say it starts to go off the rails, but maybe the next like I don't know, 2, 3 episodes are like okay maybe, but then like oh man, it hits a point where it's just like what in the hell? Where did this go? It's like so weird. That's all I'm gonna say. But at least there's still some fun moments. Like it's interesting to see that they're all together, hanging out, bonding. They all see yeah, they all care about each other. Zero Two is like an official part of the team, which is like on one hand it's nice, but on the other hand, I don't know, it's kind of fun seeing her be the outsider and the conflict. It was actually kind of interesting, but it is what it
Yeah.
is. But yeah, at least her and Hero are together now. That's nice. And yeah, there's not really much else to say. It's just one of those episodes where it's like, it has its good moments, has its moments that are kind of weird, and from here is where it kind of starts to go off the rails. That's all I'll say. So we'll have to see what you think as you continue to watch episodes in the future.
Yeah.
Alrighty, cool, cool, cool. So that was episode 16. I think this has like 25 episodes. So you're
I'm
getting
almost there.
there. You're getting there. No, it only has 24 episodes, so you're getting there for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
And then I'm guessing what after that you watched Daria and the Franks probably. I mean, Daria and the Franks, yes. No shit.
I
I mean, you
rewatched it.
watched.
Yeah.
You just watched it again, right? From the beginning again. No, I was gonna
Um.
say, you watched Urusei Yatsura, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Nice.
Uh. Yeah. It was the part two to the last episode, and yeah, we finally get to see what the sister of Han, Asuka, what she looks like, and she's just like this little like not a little girl. She's like 15. It's some girl that she like has like like a ponytail, and like basically she just has like a jumpsuit. Like she just like no, not a jumpsuit, a tracksuit. She has a tracksuit, and
What is she? Freaking from the what we call it, Eastern Europe
that's what I'm
jumpsuit,
saying. Based off like
tracksuit.
yeah, and then, like the name too, right? Like no, that like and basically what happens is that yeah, they reveal her, and then because of Ataru and his fault, basically she's scared of men now, and then
God
it's
damn it! He always
yeah,
has to do something stupid, right?
yeah, and then this is where it gets stupid, right? So like the mom, like I know because you have like the page pulled up, like I could see it here. So the mom right there on the right, the Mrs. Mizuno Koji or whatever her name
Yeah.
is. Oh my God, I hate this lady. So basically, she has the worst bodyguards where they try to teach her about men. And then instead of explaining it a specific way, they say they're like, oh, brothers are very special types of men.
Oh God.
And that's where it makes it worse, right? Where it's like, it doesn't help, right?
Uh,
And so what
that's pretty funny.
happens is that, okay, she gets this information and she's all convinced, like, oh, well, that makes sense, whatever. And then what happens is basically she eventually does meet um she basically like she basically does meet the brother eventually, but then she falls in love with him
God damn it.
because he has the same type of eyes as her, like the little star eyes.
Yeah.
And then it's awkward where for some reason, um, basically after she's scared of Mendo as well because Mendo's practically just a rich version of what's his name? He's
Otaru?
practically of Otaro basically. Like yeah, he's like a rich like more like how do you call it? Like in public he acts more like, sane, I guess we'll say, because he doesn't act like a freak. And
Yeah.
and so him and Ataro, they start acting like creeps in front of her, and so that scares her. And what happens is that freaking um that scares her up more, and that doesn't help. And so what happens is, yeah, she meets Ton, and then she falls in love with him, and then it's his fault because at first it kind of seems like maybe he kind of likes her too, because like I guess he just kind of thought like, oh well, she's just cute, whatever. And then like when he finds out that's his sister, he's kind of just like, oh well, never mind. Like I'm just gonna protect her because she's my sister. But then she takes it the wrong way too because hearing that like he's the only guy that's gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna protect you. She gets the wrong idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Makes sense.
And so she kind of just does it. She's like, oh, like
Hey, if
oh,
this is the best that they have to offer me, hell no.
oh my god, I'm telling you, it's such a weird and then basically, yeah, like Ataro, he doesn't get the memo that, like he just needs to shut up and like stay out of things. Because every single time that she almost in this episode that she almost gets over her fear of men,
Here's something stupid.
he does something stupid like say like, hey babe, like let me kiss you. And that makes her freak out.
Oh my
And so that's
gosh.
the problem. And like that's the thing. And then at the end, Mendo gets his ass beat by his sister because his sister comes in because of something about how she doesn't want him to get married. And when she says Oni-sama, that's when the girl Asuka's like, wait, you're an older brother too? And so she's like, oh, you should have told me that from the beginning.
Well, how does that fix anything?
Because she has respect for older brothers, because older brothers
That's
are
it.
special, because
That's
they're
it.
special types of men that aren't freaks supposedly.
So even though she saw all that negative stuff from him, he freaked her out, etc., just because he's an older brother, it's like, oh, okay, cool. I give you a pass, basically.
Yeah, I like that's what I'm saying. And so like that's what I'm saying. It's such a weird thing.
It's just one of those things. You're not supposed to take it seriously. It's just supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be goofy, even if
Yeah.
it's super dumb, right? It's super
Like
dumb, but
and then you look at like the dad, and the dad has like a weird scribble face.
oh god,
And then like he looks like a little emoji. And then what makes it worse too about the mom, right, is that her family tradition, which implies that the dad was married into the family, it's that well, like yeah, like the female people of the family, they have to do is they have to be excluded from no secluded from men until they're 15.
oh jeez. Hey, that kind of
It's
reminds me of the Gerudo a little bit, right?
yeah,
But
but like
for them, it's just like, oh, come live in the Gerudo town and learn our traditions and all that stuff. And then you're once you're like a certain age, go off and do whatever you're gonna do, right? But
yeah, and then
here it's just like, no, it's just like we're just gonna hide you away, which is like kind of bad.
yeah, and it's a bad thing because like think about like the Gerudos where like they probably learned that stuff in the Gerudo town and properly as well. And
Yeah.
so like you know what I mean? And like freaking yeah, like I don't know, man. And that's why the dad says too when he sees the wife is laying in like the little like bed and she's resting up, he says like, "Oh, can I see my daughter and can Ton see his sister?" And she says, "No, because like women in this family, we can't we can't meet men until like we're 15." And he even says he's like, "Haha, you're joking, right?" Like saying like this sounds dumb.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Nope, I'm being for reals." And so that's it. Like he just had to go with it because he had to go with it.
Wow. So he didn't even like know he didn't even like know that ahead of time or anything. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
exactly, right? Like you would think that that's like something that like you being married into the family, it's one of the first things to like know or something.
Nah, nah, I
Nope.
didn't find out till way later.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
And so this whole episode was just, Ataro trying to like break in, trying to like at first it was him trying to prevent help Mendo not get married because she was in like the little armor and all that crap.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then later it was, Mendo trying to get married to the girl because the girl is pretty. And then it was from there her being weird with the brother. And then her calling him older brother because he's an older brother, I guess. And so now she has respect for him. And
Oh
like,
my God, it's so
yeah,
silly, so silly.
yeah, right. And so like I don't know, that episode does something it is funny too because I think like if you watch the original anime, I think people said that they're like the least favorite episodes of the like the fan base.
Oh, really?
Like people hate it so bad. And yeah, I don't know. The point is, as you can tell, even I didn't really like it as much.
It just seemed pretty, man, like whatever. And then the
Yeah,
stuff was kind of like, oh, that's kind of like dumb, I guess, is what you're saying.
yeah. Like I mean, it was kind of funny. I'll admit. Like there was some stuff that I thought was funny, like how the mom says like that her husband's like very handsome, and then Ataro and Mendo say that that's ironic because he has a very scribbly looking face.
Yeah, if
And
you look up
then
the character, literally his eyes and nose and mouth, it looks like it's just hiragana.
that's what I'm saying. It's literally just like scribbles, like
Yeah,
hiragana, yeah. And that's what
that's
they say.
funny.
They both say themselves. They're like, that's ironic since he literally just looks like a scribbled person, you know. And then, man, like I don't know, yeah, like they like like freaking the episode was weird. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, more weird than usual.
Yeah, but hey, I mean, at least it sounds like it was kind of funny, had its
It,
moments and
it
stuff,
was
and
it had
at
it.
least the weirdness
Mhm.
makes you go like, what? You know what I mean? At least
Yeah,
that's always kind
like
of funny. That's always kind of fun.
yeah, and then it seems like Asuka's pretty strong because she'll like break walls casually, and she like grabs trees out of the ground like Goku style, and she'll
Yeah.
like hit people with them like casually. She'll like grab them and start whacking people with them, and so it's funny stuff like that where she like is abnormally strong and quick and stuff.
Yeah. Well, there you
Oh
go. At least, it's another one in the books and it was silly and at least it had its moments. So, that's fine, I guess. At
yeah,
least it wasn't boring, I mean, that could be like the worst thing. So,
yeah.
all right. Cool, cool, cool. And was that it for you or did you do something else this week?
Oh, I did something definitely different this week, especially because I had been saying for a while I was going to do it, and I kind of didn't because of access issues, and this actually took up most of my time. Actually,
Yeah.
I played a bit of Persona 3 Reload finally.
Oh, nice, nice. Very cool. We were just talking about
Yeah,
last week about it, playing it and which version and all that stuff. And I had said, maybe you could start with Persona 3 Reload and all that, and that's pretty cool. You dove in, that's awesome. Um, I guess. What do you think of the game?
I honestly compared to Portable, like I get it. Like I know someone told me to keep playing Portable. I can see why because that is like the more traditional, like older Persona style. Because I've seen Persona 1 and 2, how it's laid out, kind of. But I will say I do prefer this version more than the portable one, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I like that it has like the Persona 5 interactions of like walking around more. I like the fact that, like I don't know, like I just like exploring like because I already got to what's the name of the tower? The
Tartarus.
Tartarus? Yeah,
Yeah,
Tartarus. I already got to,
it's the big like labyrinth area
hmm
for, dungeon area for this because 3, 4, and 5, they each have like a big area that you can go there, and that's where you would do a lot of your grinding and you fight bosses and stuff, right?
hmm
But then, there's also like the actual story stuff where it's like, oh, this is where you like fight the actual like story bosses, you know what I mean? So it's always kind of split into two different areas and they kind of intermingle together. So
hmm
yeah, and this one it's Tartarus and the fourth one totally forget, but I know it has to do with like the TV world. And then in 5 it's Mementos. So
I know five's mementos, yeah.
yeah.
And yeah, it's been pretty fun. I like wandering around, more. And the way they laid it out here, I like that it's more like I don't even, like the cameras behind the characters, I guess, and I like it kind of like that because even though like Portable gives you a more wider like range of seeing the layout, I feel like it's a little too on top, I guess. Like the camera, like it's a little too on the top of the head instead of like around the characters. And I like being able to move the camera around and see the room kind of like you being in a room. You know what I mean?
You mean like inside Tartarus?
Yeah, like seeing like around the rooms, like not having it from like the top, like looking
You
down.
can move the camera in portable.
Oh, well, either way, like I like it like being more
Yeah, I was gonna
following the
say.
characters more like you're in the room, basically.
Yeah, I was gonna say because in portable, I mean, sure, you can't move the camera, outside of Tartarus because of how it's, visual novel style, sort of. But when you're in Tartarus, you can totally move the camera around 360 and everything. So, huh? Maybe you never tried that out, I guess. That's kind of
Yeah, I
funny.
guess I
Because I
never
mean, you,
did.
you you never played it for. I know you told me you didn't play it for like too much, right? So
Yeah,
maybe you just never tried that.
because I got to Tartarus, I just never had to move the camera, I guess, because everything was kind of just shown, like the enemies too and everything.
Yeah, yeah, but you could totally move the camera around. That's like something you can totally do. But yeah, I get what you mean. Even then, obviously everything in reload is updated, so it's overhauled and stuff. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. I like the like yeah, like it feels the way I would describe the camera is kind of think of like Kingdom Hearts where the camera's always behind Sora's head or like around and then on the left and right, it's Donald and Goofy on the left and right. It's kind of like that. That's what I mean. I like the camera always being behind or in front of the character, like being like it follows the character from behind, like a third person camera like that. While like in portable, it's more of a traditional RPG where it's like it's kind of like a camera that follows around, which is still the same. It's just it's like from like I don't know. It feels like it's like you're being watched from the top down, basically.
mhm,
Yeah.
cool. All right, all right. And what do you think of like the combat and everything so far?
Oh, I like the combat here. I
Yeah.
definitely like the combat. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
And
pretty interesting because you get so used to like the like the really big, series that a lot of people think of as like Final Fantasy, right? And Final
hmm
Fantasy and a lot of games like that, you're so used to magic always being the same terms, right?
hmm
And here it's just so interesting how like the spells are like totally different terms, like fires, Augie, and ice is Bufu, and then as they get stronger, it adds like these weird uh like more syllables to it. So it's like uh Bufuru or whatever means that it hits like multiple people, and it's just the way the terms they use are just like so weird. I feel like I've never seen them anywhere else. It's like really interesting, but
hmm
I like it. I like how it's like, okay, enemies. There's three types of attack. There's the four elemental spells plus light and darkness. You have to try to target the weaknesses, and you have your team of four, and then there's also all the different little buffs and debuffs you can use, and like I don't know, it's just like a really interesting, really entertaining fight magic system. I really like it, and yeah, just obviously you wouldn't know maybe because you didn't play all of like Portable, right? You haven't really played any of their games. But
hmm
I guess at this point, just to kind of transition, right? Because I also played Persona 3 Portable some more this week. So that's something else that took up a lot of my time, which it was
Yeah.
honestly a busy week. I wasn't able to do much, but when I did have some free time, this is what I did, right? So but anyway, yeah. Seeing all of like the things that they added and changed, and it's just so cool how like now they have the cut-in screens like in Persona 5, or like whenever you are gonna do like a magic attack, sometimes it'll like cut to your person and they have like the little screen that's all stylish, which is really cool.
hmm
When you do the one more, which means it's like, oh, you landed a critical hit and you get to like attack again. Like if you knock down all the enemies, it's cool how now when everybody does the all out attack, you get if you like defeat the enemy, every person, whoever's leading it, they have like a little graphic that pops up where it has some sort of like a catchphrase and like a pose and stuff. That's also like from Persona 5. And
hmm
the shuffle time is a little bit different now. And
Oh, it really was, yeah. Compared
yeah, and
to portable, it was
yeah, and they added more things now too with like different cards and different effects, and like I don't know, just so many things that they added, and like interactions and ways to like level up your skills, and just so much stuff. It's just so cool. Like I love when a game does that. That's why this one seems like it's a pretty faithful remake, which pretty
hmm
cool. But that's I said before. That's why I don't mind even remakes going different directions, because as a fan who already likes the work, having a reason to enjoy the work and like, something new to the experience, I always think that's really cool.
Hmm.
So even though here it's not like a crazy one compared to, let's say, like Final Fantasy VII Remake, where it's like a totally, the story goes in a different direction. Even though here it seems like, and from what I've heard, everything's pretty faithful to the original. The fact that they added all these like new things and little changes just makes it like, worth the price of admission all over again, even though I already know what to expect. So I'm really enjoying it. It sounds like you're really enjoying it. And yeah, it's just something that I'm definitely going to keep playing. And that I hope that this time you really do keep playing through it too. And that hopefully you take it all the way. So you will have a Persona game that you played all the way through. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And yeah, so far from what I've played, even though it's like the beginning, it's the exact same stuff from when I played Portable. Like legit, it's the same dialogue, same freaking like plot. The only thing that I think is kind of different is like obviously the voice acting because some of the voice actors are from like Persona 5 and
Oh
some of them
yeah,
are just
because yeah, this time I think they totally. I don't remember if there's any recurring voices. I think all the
I think it's
VAs are
just the
different.
main I think it may be just the main cast, honestly. I think it may
No, not at all.
it's not even like the party people that you have.
No, no, that's what I'm saying. It was a whole big thing about how they were all replaced. So when I'm saying if there's any people that are like the same, I mean like I think maybe Elizabeth is like the same VA, and like I'm not even too sure. That's what I'm saying. Like I know basically everybody's like totally different.
Dang.
I mean, you're right. There might be VAs that we've seen in other Persona games because they do, these are like big time voice actors. They might reuse
Oh
some of
yeah, no,
them.
no, no, yeah. Because I was gonna say
But
like,
what I mean is like no, like for instance, Yuri Lowenthal, I think was like the guy who voiced like the main character, and I think he also voiced a character that comes later. And this time around, like not at all.
okay,
So yeah, I'm pretty sure almost everybody is different. There might be like a couple or so that, maybe are recurring, but I know at least for sure main voice cast is supposed to be totally different stuff. That's people were kind of making a big deal about that.
yeah. Because I was saying, I think the only person I know that definitely came from 5, I think is like, what's his name? Igor, I think from what I remember, and that's because I remember that voice because I've heard it before from
Yeah,
when I
yeah.
from 5, and so I'm like, oh, this is definitely like not the one from 3 Portable, like the same dude from Portable or 3. I'm like, this is definitely like a new voice, that seems completely different from that version. I'm like, but it's still like the same voice from 5. So I was like, oh, definitely they use that too to their advantage to reuse. But yeah, anyways, the point is the game is good. I like it. And yeah, I'm definitely gonna try to beat it, too.
Nice. Well, that's good. I hope you continue to play it, and I hope a lot of people check it out because it's definitely like a really good remake. It's a really good product and it's really fun. And I don't know, it's just really cool. Like I said, it has enough to keep you to have you come back, even if you've already played it, the three, all of the different versions before. So really fun and I recommend it. And it sounds like you do too. So pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. Like I said, Persona 3 Reload is most of what I did this week, but I do have one other thing that I'll touch upon really quickly, and then we'll get into the news. The other thing that I did is that I had heard there was going to be a new season, but it kind of just dropped out of nowhere. I was like, it was really unexpected. I hadn't even like known it dropped until out of nowhere. I just like heard something about it. I'm like, oh, it's out now. That is so random. So what I'm talking about is that they dropped the second season of the uh I guess what do you call it, revival that overall is like season 3, right? Of Clone High.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, yeah, it just dropped on like February 1st. I didn't find out until like a week later or whatever. So I
What
was like,
the
damn, what
heck?
the yeah, I'd heard that was gonna be like another season, but like I thought it was like farther away. It was just like really random. But yeah, the season's out now. This time they dropped it all at once too, because I think last time I want to say for season 2, I want to say it did come out like in episodes, like over like the course of a few weeks. I want to say I don't remember. I don't remember exactly how it dropped, but this one for sure. Just having watched it, it was all out, all at once, and I liked it. But then again, I did like, season 2. I thought it was fine, not perfect, but I thought it was fine. I have not looked up what other people think about it. I'll probably look it up at some point, but I liked it. I thought it was good. Even as someone who didn't mind season two, I thought this one was better. But again, once again, I don't know whether people are gonna think. People have all their opinions, especially when something's like a revival. Sometimes I don't know, the nostalgia and stuff. I think they kind of clouds their judgment. I'm not gonna get
Hmm.
too into that. Point is, season three picks up where season two left off, basically, where JFK and Abe Lincoln are friends now. They're like super big time homies. And Clea, and I mean Cleo, Joan, she's like a pariah because she tried to like kill everybody at the end of season two. So like everyone hates her. She's an outcast. And it kind of just goes from there about like the new dynamics and different configurations among the cast of like who's friends now, who isn't friends, stuff like that. Gandhi's still missing. They still kind of keep mentioning him, which is like super weird. I don't know if he's ever coming back. Hopefully he does.
He
And
might, based off the
yeah,
fact that they
I
just keep
think that,
mentioning
yeah,
him.
and I think they said that they were planning to bring him back, but it was going to be like farther in if they get that far.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just more, making fun of different stuff and relationship dynamics and all sorts of stuff. There's not really much to explain because it's one of those things where you have to watch it, right?
Hmm.
But I liked it. I thought it was funny. I thought it had its good moments. I like where they went with some of the episodes. I thought, JFK and A being friends was pretty fun. And it leads up to like a really interesting ending where it ends on like a big, cliffhanger. And I'm really interested to see where it's gonna go from here. And I don't know, yeah, it's just I liked it. I thought it was fun, and I thought it was better than season two. And I'm really hoping that they continue to make more because I would like to see what happens after this, cliffhanger. And I want to see, like I said, if they ever get back to bringing Gandhi back, because I hope they do. Because it would be a shame if they're like had plans to bring him back. It's like, no, we've only got like three seasons, so ends on a cliffhanger. Whenever bringing him back, it'll be like, damn it, that sucks.
That would pretty much suck, honestly.
But I liked it. I thought it was fun, and I thought it was definitely better in season two. So hopefully other people thought the same. Hopefully they liked it, and hopefully we get more of it. You know what I mean? But I liked it, and I recommend it, and that's basically it. Like I said, it's one of those things you kind of have to watch for yourself. You know what I mean? Because there's not really much to talk about plot wise. It's like, more about, the interactions and what they're making fun of and stuff like that. But, I like it and I hope for more and I recommend it. So there you go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nothing could ever hurt the. Wait.
Yeah. Nothing bad
Nothing
ever happens to
ever
the
has
Kennedys.
Kennedys. That's all I'm
Oh my
gonna.
God. It's so stupid. Yeah. They make a couple of jokes like that this time too about like stuff like because he's a Kennedy. It's like so
Yeah.
dumb. It's so dumb. But it was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Oh, that's great.
I guess the one thing I will spoil is that they finally get to all this time we've seen them, okay, they're based on these historical figures, right? But they
Yeah.
never really act like their historical selves, which is kind of part of the fun, right? Like what would it be like if we had these characters and they're clones, but they have different personalities, right?
Hmm.
In the last episode, we do kind of get a thing about like, oh, them, having to the connection to like their past life, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a fun little thing, but again, you have to watch it, you have to like see, and it's something that they
Hmm.
had kind of set up since season one about the professor guy, who's like the principal, about something he wanted. We kind of get to see the payoff of that finally. So good
Okay.
stuff. Yeah.
That's cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so jumping over to the news, we have four different news stories. Each are pretty cool in their own way. All of them are very interesting and out there, and they all kind of make me laugh in their own way, which I guess people see in a moment.
Oh boy, I already see. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so the first one, very interesting. I'll just read the title out loud. It says Hideo Kojima on decision to develop. I don't even know how you say the name of this. I think it's Fizzant.
Yeah, I was gonna say Fizzant.
I think that's how you say it. But Hideo Kojima decision to develop Fizzant, I realized that people die.
Yeah, that's how this.
So it
That's
makes
why I
you
thought it
go
was
like,
funny.
yeah, it makes you go like, what the hell? What tarnation?
And then
Like, what?
there's a funny picture of him below, so that it's like funny.
Yeah, it's just like his face looking serious, staring at the camera, and the little subtext says,
I
"I thought I
really.
should change my priorities a bit. I still want to do new things, but I decided to make an action espionage game." So basically, as funny as the quote sounds, what it's trying to get at, and you can read, the article and get all the information, 'cause they did this interview with him. But during the state of play, around, that time, it was okay. Hideo Kojima, not only is he making Death Stranding 2, not only is he making OD, which is the working title of the project he's doing with Microsoft, Xbox, but he's also going to make a game for Sony, for the PS5 called Physint. And basically, it has been revealed that it's going to be an action espionage game, which means that he's going back to his roots, you can say, and he's going to make a game similar to Metal Gear Solid. It's going to be, an action espionage game, even though it's not a continuation of Metal Gear Solid. It's his company's game. It's a different IP, but he's going back to action espionage, which is pretty cool, right? Because he makes really good action espionage games, like Metal Gear Solid 5. As much as people criticize stuff like the story and it feeling like unnecessary, that sort of thing, it's still very good gameplay wise. Like the gameplay is really good. It's still like really fun to play. And so anyway, the whole point is that he revealed that he's going to make another action espionage game. And the article is really interesting where he basically talks about that when he got sick in 2020 during the pandemic, he was so sick that he even had to have surgery. He even wrote a will because he wasn't really sure what was going to happen and all this crazy stuff where it basically made him more self-aware about his mortality, right? And he even says, I'll read a little part right here. He says, "But I turned 60 last year. I'll turn 70 in 10 years. I hope to never retire. Having said that, if the users desire it so much, I thought I should change my priorities a bit. I still want to do new things, but I decided to make an action espionage game." So basically, yeah, this whole article is about how he has a lot of things he wants to do, different projects he wants to do. But because of how he realized, okay, I'm not getting any younger, it would be a shame if anything were to happen to me and people want me to make more games like Metal Gear. And so I guess he decided I should kind of, listen to the fans and do something else similar to that. You know what I mean?
Because he doesn't have to work on Metal Gear. He just has to what he's saying is he should still he should still be in that field basically of those type of games basically.
Yeah, especially because those games, they don't really exist anymore.
They
the really
really
big ones
don't.
were, Metal Gear, Splinter Cell, those are some other ones. And Splinter Cell, they haven't made anything new in a while. I think the most they did is that the main character, they used him in some other, Ubisoft property, right? But it's Splinter Cell's kind of been dead for a while. And then, Metal Gear Solid is basically dead. Sure, we're gonna get the remake of 3, but there's no new titles or anything, nothing like that.
Ever since the 5th one, there hasn't been anything, yeah.
Yeah. And so I guess, and it's commendable too, because there's so many creators out there that even though the fans want it, they just keep them, in limbo where they're not really saying if they're going to make something new or not, right? And, just think about the guy who makes Game of Thrones, for instance. I think it's a dick move when you have all these fans that are waiting for you to put out something new. And as Hideo Kojima says, people die. So there's all these fans that die wishing for a new work, a new piece of media that they love. And the creator's just not doing it, which I think is a dick move, knowing that there's so many people just waiting and waiting and waiting. And you're just kind of I'll get around to it. So I think it's commendable that Hideo Kojima's you know what? If people love action espionage games so much and they love the stuff I do, I'm going to make a new game for them. I think that's pretty cool, honestly.
It really is, honestly. Even I agree with that, yeah.
Yeah, and then it'll be interesting to what he does because in the article, he also talks about, how he's always likes movies and they've asked him to make something for Hollywood, whatever. But, games are what he's good at. And the games he makes are very cinematic anyway. And so here he says that, no, I'm going to, stick to games. And basically the stuff I'm making is already so movie-like that I'm going to make a game that, there's a little quote where he says, if your mother walks in and sees you playing this game, she'll think you're watching a movie. I'm not sure how far we can take it yet, but he's really hoping for something big again. And, love or hate his stuff, he always makes interesting things. Metal Gear Solid, so many crazy, I don't know, both story-wise, how he's predicted, the future, and gameplay-wise, a lot of mechanics that he's done are so special. Same thing with, Death Stranding. Even if you kind of hate it, some of the stuff he does is just so out there, right? Like, I don't know, it's just so crazy.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like that, the moment when you were saying like, "Oh, I'm about to even explain like the whole thing about him making games are like movies." I've seen that exact same quote where he even says like his games could be like considered like almost movie like. Like literally, your mom could walk in and think you're watching a movie.
Yeah, like he always
Yeah.
uses like the best graphics he can. I don't know, like the cinematics always pretty crazy. Like
Hmm.
he's
The
always trying to
music
push.
too.
Yeah, like he's always trying to push the boundaries. So, like love it or hate it, he always does some really interesting stuff. At the very least, the
Hmm.
stuff he does is never boring. So, pretty cool. I'm excited. I am interested to play this whenever it comes out, but it is going to be a while because I think it's like barely entering production or something like that. So, it's like a few years off.
Hmm.
But at least in the meantime, we're gonna have Death Stranding 2. At some point, there's gonna be that game, OD, and now there's this. So pretty cool stuff. A lot of stuff coming from Kojima Productions. So a lot to look forward to and a lot to keep your eye on. So I'm excited.
I'm pretty excited too, man.
Yeah, yeah. Then after that, this is a very strange one. This one just came out of nowhere, totally left field, but it's a very interesting article. As it says here, Disney acquires 1.5 billion at stakes in Epic Games. Disney Games and Entertainment Universe connected to Fortnite announced.
Oh shit.
So yeah, Disney has invested a whole bunch in Epic Games. They are basically teaming up to do some sort of a Fortnite crossover. And I don't really know what to say. That is just really crazy, but it makes sense because Disney has so much money and they're not really in the gaming sphere anymore, right? I mean, the only thing that
Hmm.
they really do is a few projects here and there. They have Kingdom Hearts, right?
Oh boy.
But
Hmm.
they probably want to do more. And so yeah, they're teaming up with Epic Games and they're making some sort of collaborative entertainment universe that's connected to Fortnite. So wow.
Epic Mickey 3 Fortnite edition.
Oh God, right? Yeah, like I
Dude,
saw the only thing I can really say is that we don't really know what this is going to be yet. A lot of people
yeah,
have
like
all sorts of guesses, which I'll get to in a moment. But I want to get to the memes first. I saw people, all sorts of people laughing about. They're like, "Oh my God, we're gonna get Fortnite and Kingdom Hearts 4,"
yeah, I've seen that, and then I've seen another one where like someone says there's a rumor that Sora might be in Fortnite soon.
which I
And
don't really think so. Like, I don't really see them wanting to like give Sora like guns and stuff. Sounds really weird, right?
yeah, right. I
But
want
yeah,
to
I
see
saw.
Goffy be there.
Oh my God, Goffy just running around with guns and stuff.
Oh, dude,
Yeah, because
yeah.
that's what I was gonna say. Like, I saw jokes about Fortnite and Kingdom Hearts 4. I saw jokes about like, oh, we're gonna finally get to play as a Mickey in Fortnite, and you're gonna be able to do the gritty as all the different Disney characters and like all sorts of dumb stuff, right? But it just made
Yeah,
me laugh. It was super funny. And then Jonesy as a Kingdom Hearts for
party
party
member.
member. Yeah, oh my God, so there was
Oh,
all
that'd be
sorts of dumb
funny.
stuff. All sorts of dumb stuff, right? What I do think it's going to be, what I'm guessing, and what a lot of people have, kind of it's rumored. I think it's going to be something where it's probably going to be something like Disney Infinity, but in
Hmm.
Fortnite.
Yeah,
Like
I can
they're
see that.
probably,
I can see
yeah,
that.
yeah, because Fortnite, the whole point is that you can like, character, you can create so much things, right? It's all about the characters running around and they've done so much stuff already, right? Like
Like
there's so
Lego
much.
Fortnite.
Yeah,
Hmm.
like so much franchises that are already represented there. And it doesn't even have to be like gameplay stuff. You can just be like, oh, you're walking around these universes and the characters and stuff that represents, the franchises. And so what a lot of people are saying, it's probably gonna be like a Disney Infinity sort of thing where it's like, oh, there's gonna be a map that is, you know, uh, I don't know, like a Star Wars thing. There's gonna be a map that's gonna be some sort of, Toontown thing, stuff like that is what people are guessing. And that, like again, since Disney, it doesn't really have like a gaming thing anymore, it's probably like this is how they're gonna showcase their franchises in gaming form. And I think it makes sense and it'll be interesting to see what they do. And there's already so many franchises and IPs represented in Fortnite, right? That it's like, okay, it'll be interesting to see what Disney and Epic team up to do. But I'm sure it's gonna be something like that, where it's gonna be some sort of Disney Infinity sort of like, look at all these characters and all these different maps based on all these like franchises, and you can run around and experience all sorts of things. And you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure that is what they're gonna do, which it'll be really interesting to see, you know what I mean? So I am again, it's something to keep an eye out for, and only time will tell how well this works or not, you know?
Yeah.
But it definitely came out of left field. I don't think anyone was expecting this. But alrighty then. It'll be, you know, cool to see where this goes. And if we get some good memes out of it, then awesome. And yeah, if we get to like do the gritty as Goofy, then why
And then
not,
shoot
right?
people, and then shoot people and be like, I did it. I'll do it again.
I'll do it again. And we just hit the gritty.
Do it, Coffee.
Do it, Coffee. I'll
I'll
do it
do it
again.
again.
Oh my God. That's too good. That's
Oh,
too
that's
good.
great.
But there you go, guys. That'll be something you know, look forward to, I guess.
Yeah.
Then after that, this one is something that I'm pretty excited for. It's something that they had announced a while back, and they just hadn't really gone anywhere with it. It almost sounded like, is it canceled? Like, what's the deal? We finally got the trailer for the Knuckles series.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then we finally found out that it's going to come out on April 26th. So that's not too far away. And
Yeah, I saw it.
pretty
Hmm.
good stuff. The trailer is honestly pretty good. If people haven't watched it, obviously it'll be linked in the description below. But it looks pretty fun. Like a lot of people, uh, they you know, it sounded cool to have like a Knuckles series, right? But a lot of people were like, okay, you know, when you read the description of, you know, because a lot of people are like hoping, like, oh, maybe it'll be like a Knuckles chaotic sort of thing. But then when they read the description where it's like, oh, he's teaming up with that, you know, goofy sheriff guy, Wade, and he's like teaching him about the way of the echidna or whatever, it sounded kind of like, oh, so is it gonna be just like Knuckles and like, you know, more human sided stuff, right? It sounded more like, I don't know. But then when you actually see the trailer, it's like, okay, yes, humans are definitely involved, but it looks really high budget. And the direction they're taking it actually seems really interesting. Where it's Knuckles, you know, he says that he promised he would like protect Earth. And so he's just kind of trying to like find his place, right? And it's all about him. And he's trying to, you know, train Wade to like be like more of like a warrior. But then like, yeah, there's like these people that like apparently they're given like tech that has like the same way Eggman stole one of Sonic's quills and used that for like, you know, making his tech. It's like their tech is based on like Knuckles's, you know, powers. And so they have like these gauntlets and like all this other stuff. And they're using all this stuff to like try to like, I don't know, take over the world or, you know, whatever. And Knuckles is fighting them. And it looks really cool. It looks like really like high budget. It looks like, you know, he definitely has his match, you know, he definitely has his work cut out for him because they're like using his powers against him. And like the jokes seem kind of fun. The, you know, visuals and effects look pretty cool. And I don't know, this would be really interesting to see where they go with this.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It looks pretty cool. It feels like you know what it reminds me of? It really it feels like a really nice show, but then it feels like we're looking at a trailer for like a movie. That's the thing. Like it legit feels like we're watching a Knuckles movie too.
It
Like
does look like it could be a Knuckles movie, exactly. It doesn't feel like it's like a spin-off little series where sometimes it feels like, oh, it's just kind of like, okay,
it's
cool. There's this
cheap too or something.
yeah, like
Like
it's cheap, and this person, it's kind of like a little side story that, you know, it could have been like honestly like filler, basically, right?
mhm.
This does look like it really actually is good, and it kind of is going somewhere, and it really will give us more of Knuckles, and like I don't know, it just looks really interesting. I don't know how to explain it. It's just it looks really good, honestly. Like I think a lot of
Yeah.
people from I saw the comments are like, oh, this actually looks really good. Like I'm actually more excited for this now because before I kind of had my doubts about it. It looked like it might have just been filler. It might look like it was just like low budget, but this looks really, really good. It looks really fun, honestly.
Yeah, and then it's kind of interesting because these villains, it seems like these villains, like either they worked for Eggman in the past, like they were below Stone, like they were just kind of like extra people, or like these are people who just found Eggman's tech and stole it from him. And
Yeah,
like
like
Knuckle,
the guy who's making the tech. I'm really interested, like what part he will play, and the people
hmm
that are using the tech. I'm really interested. Like, okay, how do they tie into the bigger Sonic universe? Are they just like original, human OC characters, or are they actually something from like the
maybe comics.
games or like the
Hmm
comics or something? It'll be kind of interesting to see where that goes too.
That's what I'm saying. It looks really interesting.
And best of all, the most peak part of the whole show, he wears the hat that he
From the
wore
OVA.
from the OVA. That's the part's the
Yeah.
best. He wears the hat. He's
hmm
on a motorcycle and he wears the hat. So that's how you know that even if the series is terrible, he's wearing the hat, guys. That's
There's
what matters.
dedication. There's dedication.
That's
Yeah.
that's the part that matters. He's wearing the hat. So, there
Yeah.
you go. But again, something else to keep an eye out for and look forward to. So like, damn, we got another one that, okay, more stuff to look forward to that it seems to be coming sometime in the future. So awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys, and finally, the last news story, the most important one.
Oh yeah, I know. This is important to me
It was
too.
very important. I'm gonna read the title to everybody, and they're gonna see what I mean. Dragon Ball Z Reese's Puff cereal is now part of a balanced Super Saiyan breakfast.
Yay!
Yeah, I just saw this news story and I'm like, why is this a news story? I don't know. But you know what? Sure, I'm gonna like throw that in there because it's just really funny. Um, yeah, and it's funny because I've seen the I sent you a picture. Remember last time?
Yeah,
I've actually seen the Reese's Puffs that has Goku on the cover.
yeah, I've seen it in person too. Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually seen
hmm
this, and apparently, yeah, there's gonna be more now. I think the difference though is that the only one I've ever seen is Goku. And it's saying here that, I'll even kind of like read the little article, right? It says Dragon Ball Z for breakfast. General Mills Reese's Puff cereals rocking the dragon with a limited time collaboration with Dragon Ball Z. The DBZ cereal comes in 7 different collectible boxes, each featuring a different character: Goku, Vegeta, Trunks, Piccolo, Cell, Frieza, and Majin Buu. And as I was going to say, so that's really interesting. That's me learning that it's not just the Goku one because I've only seen the Goku one. And beyond that, this is the really interesting part. There's also an 8th box featuring the Wish Granting Dragon Shenron that is exclusive to Sam's Club stores.
Okay, bro, we gotta go Sam's Club now.
Yeah, gotta go to Sam's Club. Gotta get that membership just for that cereal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's really cool. Like I knew that that was the Goku one, but I did not even know that they had all these other ones. And it's really interesting to hear that they even have the 8th limited time super exclusive Sam's Club ones. So like, all right, all right.
Yeah, I
The
gotta
thing
read the
too
puff.
is, so if anyone's like, oh crap, I better, that's kind of cool. I might go out and get one. You do have until May. It says here
Yeah,
the special
I,
Reese's Puff boxes are currently available in stores, but they are only scheduled to stay until May or while supplies last. So that is, one of those things that if you are interested and you want to get your hands on them, you better run out and get them now because they're only going to be around for a few months.
I better hurry up, bro. I better get myself Reese's Puffs with Goku in it, or Piccolo, or any of those characters, right?
Yeah, yeah. And I wonder where you can get them because like I said, I've only ever seen the Goku one. But then again,
I think
now
this
that
is
I'm
pretty
actually
soon.
no, now that I'm looking at the story, the Goku that shows the image, it's not the same one that is on the cover. So I think the point is that the front is Goku with a spoon and it says Reese's Puffs. The back might be what has the different character on it.
Yeah, I think that's what it's saying. Yeah.
I hadn't really thought about that till now. That makes sense because I've never like picked up an actual box and like looked at the back of it. I've only just been like, oh, cool. There's a Goku Reese's Puffs box, right? But looking at the story and how it has the 7 different characters, and it's like the different Goku looking pose. It might be because yeah, the front is the same one, and the back might be what has the different characters on it. Now that I'm actually like really looking at it.
Yeah, I better waste my whole bank account on this so that each time I go to a store, I buy a new box of Reese's Puffs
I mean,
just
it's
to
not like
see which
Reese's
character.
Puffs are that expensive, my dude.
No, but
It's
like buy like 100, like a bunch of like boxes and like drain the whole account and just like literally just so I can see which characters I have on the back and like that's it.
You can look at that's what I mean. You can look at the back of the box before you buy it.
I don't. I have to buy it first and look at the back
Yeah,
of
I
the
was saying it's not like it's not like it's one of those like little like mystery capsules or one of those things where it's like
box.
you have to buy it first, then you find out. Like you look at the box before you buy it.
I know, but me, I'm like, no, I have to buy it first, then look at the back of the box.
Oh God, that'd be so dumb. Oh
Yeah,
Lord. But yeah, if that's how you want to play it, sure, man. Why not? Pretend gotcha, right? There you go.
yeah.
But there you go. I know it's kind of a silly news story. I know it's not even really a news story, but I just thought it was fun. And I just thought I would throw that out there. And yeah, I definitely, now that I know it's not going to last that long either, I might at least get myself at least a box because that's kind of cool, you
No,
know?
I want to get it a box too. Like just eat some piece. Like no, not even that. Get the cereal, right? Like buy it, just throw the cereal away and just keep the box.
But that's the thing. I think it's like more valuable if you don't open the box, you know what I mean? But
Yeah, that's true.
I don't even know though, right? I mean, maybe I'll
Yeah,
get like a box and I'll like to maybe eat and then one to like keep and not open. But I don't know. But then again, I don't even really eat cereal because like it's too sugary, too much calories.
yeah,
I don't know. The point is, I'm gonna buy a box. So I'll see what I do with it.
yeah.
Oh boy. But there you go, guys. Go out and get your Dragon Ball Z cereal. Your Reese's Puffs. Go get it now.
We're sponsored. I'm just kidding.
I wish. All right. Okay, there you go, guys. And that is it for the news. 4 different news stories that all have stuff that you should keep an eye out for, stuff that you can be, looking forward to, etc. So I thought it was a nice news week of, positive news stories of stuff to look out for. And that looks like it would be fun to engage with. So there you go.
Yeah.
All right. So before we go, last week we didn't have a topic of the week. This week, however, we do. And I'm not going to get too into it because it's just such a big franchise and there's so much to talk about. But because we did mention Hideo Kojima earlier, the recommendation slash topic of the week is the Metal Gear series.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, like I said, won't get too into details because there's so many games. Each of them are so different. And there's like the spin-offs and all these things. And
Hmm.
you know. But yeah, Metal Gear series, if you have never played it, or if you've only played, let's say, like a game or two, trust me, it is worth your time to play all the games in the franchise. Even the spin-offs are interesting in their own ways. The only one maybe I wouldn't recommend is Metal Gear Survive, because that game is kind of whack, right? It takes like a lot
Yeah.
of like grinding to even like really be worth it, because I've seen someone who really grinded through it and it did look pretty interesting, honestly, but it takes so much grinding and like it's just kind of annoying, right? So that's the only game that I maybe wouldn't recommend. But besides that, all the Metal Gear Solid games and the spin-offs and all that stuff, it's a really good franchise. As I was saying earlier, Hideo Kojima, love him or hate him, the man has creativity. The man has ideas. And a lot of those ideas and how he's implemented them into the series is just so interesting. Like Metal Gear Solid 3, a lot of people, consider it one of like the best games ever made because it's
Hmm.
just, the gameplay's so good, the story's so good, just all that stuff, right? And then Metal Gear Solid 2, when it first came out, it was kind of hated. Fans were disappointed because of how the playable character, the main character, wasn't Snake. It was Raiden. Is it Raiden? Raiden, right? Raiden? It's Raiden, yeah. A lot of people
Yeah.
were disappointed because it was they felt that the rug was pulled out from under them because the main person you play as is Raiden. But over time, as people have kind of looked back at it, they've gone, damn, that was actually really cool how they kind of did that. And not only that, but the story that a lot of people were kind of like confused about and they thought it was really silly. It's crazy how Kojima really predicted a lot of stuff about the nature of, AI and the internet and, misinformation and, all of that stuff and memes and all that. Like, it's really crazy. He really predicted a
Hmm.
lot of that. And then, Metal Gear Solid 4, also really good. Definitely was like what felt well. I mean, it is still an ending in a sense because it's still the end of Snake's story, even though the franchise didn't end there. So a really strange game, a little bit more mixed compared to something like 3 that's like really beloved, but it's still really interesting in its own way. And it's still really like a good send off for Snake. and it's still really cool how, without spoiling, how they did it, how, in Japanese, it's crazy how they got these two voice actors that were an estranged father and son, and they made them record, and it like fixed it like helped their relationship and stuff. So like, I don't know,
Oh
really
yeah.
crazy
Mhm.
stuff. And then Metal Gear Solid 5, love it or hate it, because the story is very minimal and very weird. And it is kind of a shame how they replaced, David Hayter with Kiefer Sutherland. Again, the gameplay is just top notch. The gameplay is really good. It's just such a fun game to play through. And I don't know, I still thought the story was pretty good. I still think that there is some story beats that are very, very well done that I really enjoyed. Like I had a lot of fun with it. So I don't know, man. The whole series, the whole franchise is just so good. And like I said, even the spin-offs are pretty good. And man, it's just one of those things that I can't recommend it enough. I think it's really fun. I think it's, a lot of really good gameplay moments, that sort of thing. And I don't really know what else to say about it. It just has so many iconic characters, iconic moments, and memes and stuff. The games are, highly regarded by a lot of people. And yeah, it's just one of those things that what else can we really say? It's just
Yeah.
something that's highly recommended. It's one of those go check it out now. I think the only thing I can really say is that it's a shame that Metal Gear Solid 4 is still stuck on the PS3. That's the
Oh
only way to
yeah.
play it.
Mhm.
It's kind of rumored that the way they made the Metal Gear Solid collection, right? That maybe it's been rumored that the fourth one might be in the second part of the collection, which would be great. That way it's not stuck on the PS3. That'd be kind of cool.
Mm.
But then again, the collection, especially like on Switch, a lot of people were saying it wasn't worth it. So how you play the games might be a bit iffy. But if you get your hands on them, definitely look up what's the best way to play them and, try to check it out. Because like I said, it's highly regarded, highly recommended. And yeah, freaking, I don't know. It's just so cool. You know what I mean? So there you go.
Yeah.
Check out the Metal Gear Solid franchise, all the games, spin-offs, etc. And yeah, I guess even if it's not connected to him, let's hope that Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta, whatever they're calling it, let's hope that it's good as well. So to at least, play homage to that game that people consider to be so good. Let's hope that the remake is good as well.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Oh yeah, and then Snake is in Smash, so yeah, cool stuff.
Yeah. That's important. Yeah.
Yeah, it's important. And Snake is also in Smash. So there you go, man. That's how important, Metal Gear Solid is. So there you go. Alrighty, guys, and that's going to be it for this episode. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed that. Hopefully, you guys had some fun listening to us talk about the news, the stuff that we watched and played, all that good stuff. Hopefully, you guys will check out the Metal Gear Solid franchise, etc. To close off, as usual, what do you try? What do you want to try to, within the next week? What do you hope to bring? What do you hope to watch or play so you can bring to the table next week? What do you think?
Um. I'm not entirely sure because I know school and then also like at the end of the week near the weekend I'm probably gonna be busy with some stuff like going out and stuff. So I'm not really sure, unfortunately. Um, I might hopefully be able to watch, same things as usual, and maybe I might like look for some short anime to watch, like or get back to Tenchi Muyo,
Oh
maybe.
yeah, you totally just haven't gone back to that in a while. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, maybe that. And you know, in the meantime, like I'm not sure, but maybe Tenchi Muyo, maybe Tenchi Muyo.
Okay, so you can at least see a lot of anime, probably. Some of the
Hmm.
usual, return to, one of them you haven't talked to in a while, good stuff. For me, I'm not really sure. I'm not really even sure what's coming out anytime soon. For sure, uh, probably Persona 3 Reload.
That's what I'm gonna be playing. Yeah.
But besides that, I'm not too sure. I'm still watching some of the anime that I mentioned in previous weeks. Uh, I want to try to watch some more. That way I can talk about them, but I'm not even too sure because I just been like really busy lately. Like I said, the only thing I really watched was like Clone High. I literally just watched all the episodes same day I found out about them.
Yeah.
And then, Persona 3 Reload when I had some time besides that. Besides that, I was just busy with personal life stuff for the channel, a lot of editing and stuff like that. But I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. I guess that'll make it more interesting that since I'm not really sure, we'll see what I end up doing and then, talking
Yeah.
about. But there you have it, guys. We aren't too sure about what we're going to talk about next week, but we have some ideas, some of the same old, and some, surprises. We'll see, what we're able to do. But that is gonna be it for another episode. We will try our hardest to be back next week. We will see how that goes. Check out, the stuff that's been going up on the channel, like Persona 3 Portable, the playthrough, and uh Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Check that stuff out. And besides that, we'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.